It's been an interesting, fun month of pen and ink pairings. Let's get into it. Hey there, it's Grace. Welcome back. Welcome if you are new. Thank you for being here for another Grace video. Glad to have you join me, whether you are a newbie or you've been around for a little bit. Let me get it out right from the start. I have thoroughly enjoyed my PIP selections for this month, even though there were some changes to the lineup midway through, which to me is the point of the halfway check-in and reshuffle. In honor of this season, October's edition of Currently Inked, it was called Seasons of Color. It was fun writing with these inks because, I mean, who cannot be inspired by all the color that abounds this time of year? I mean, look at this. I mean, seriously. Now, one of the things I notice about myself, or shall I say remember, is I do enjoy a rainbow of color. You'll see that happening in next month's Currently Inked as well. Give me all the colors. That's what I say. Give me all the colors. Let's actually get to the ink report, shall we? Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Time to go. Okay, so I use 9 pens, but I use 10 inks. Let me explain, because, you know, something is always going on. I started with these 6 pens, these 6. You might think, Grace, there's only 5 pens there. I know it is. There is another pen that's supposed to be here, but I'll tell you later about this pen. But anyway, I started with these 5 plus this one for the beginning of October Currently Inked. And for the most part, this is my cheat sheet. For the most part, I loved writing with these inks. But some of them did not like me. And I explained in part 2 of Currently Inked why for each. I won't go into heavy detail here. But sometimes it was the pen and sometimes it was the ink. So I took out 4 inks, and these are the 4 inks I took out from the lineup. It was, first one was Pilot Iroshizuku Chiki-rin. I cannot get those 2 vowels to be in the same place, the right place on my tongue. Chiki-rin, that's what it is. I found this was just a little bit too light. Now, as I said, I wrote in my journal, and I can't show you those pages because they're my journals, but I used the same paper and I wrote a quote on this same paper that is in my journal. And you see how, this is how it showed up. Look how light that is. I was not expecting that. And then when it compared to how it showed up on my PIPs sheet, this is my pen and ink pairing sheet, that every pen gets a sheet like this. Look how it showed up on the PIP sheet. Look at the 2, the 2 are just, it's like almost different inks, these 2, almost different, and they're the same ink, same pen, just different paper. I was so disappointed that I didn't get the same vibe. So it really goes to show that papers really do matter, really matter. The other ink I took out was this one. This is BPC, Birmingham Pen Company ink, Root Cellar. Love this ink, but because I wanted to go more in the yellow, I don't know if you remember this sheet, I pulled all my colors from this particular image, and I wanted to go more yellow. And this thing is not yellow. That's not yellow. That's not yellow. I want a golden, really golden hue. So that. I took out also this one, NOODLER Southwest Sunset. Now, I went into serious detail on why I took this out, and it had nothing to do with the ink, but it had to do with the brand. That's in part 2 of Currently Inked as well. That was a decision I came to that was kind of like, okay, you can't straddle the fence, you're either this side or that, and I made a decision. The fourth one that I didn't mention in part 2 of Currently Inked that I actually took out was this one. This was IWI Colors of Nature White Dew. It's not that it was a bad ink. The pen that I paired it with did not showcase this ink to the best. I found they just weren't the best of partners. And part of the issue with that particular pen, it was this one here, was the scratchiness in the pen. It was it was scratchiness in the pen, and the writing comfort. The writing comfort wasn't the best. Plus, I think this ink needs, I think this pen needs a wetter ink. That's what I want to say. This ink was kind of, I'll show you how light it was. Which is the one? This one. It just, and as I wrote this, it came up so dry. It's a beautiful color and a beautiful ink. The two pairings didn't, anyway, I took that one out. Okay, let's get to the pairings. Let's get to just the pairings so we can see what we have. Okay, the first pairing was, and the pairings were this side. I kind of messed up on that one. The first pairing that I will talk about is this one. This is my JINHAO X450 with a medium nib, and I paired it with Robert Oster Fire Engine Red. Oh my gosh. Such, you know what I need? I need this. I just need to be able to put this here. Okay, so that was those two. This was a fantastic pairing. I loved writing with this pen. Let me read what I wrote on the pip sheet. Is this the one? Yes. Beautiful pairing. Flow was consistent and easy. I love writing with this pen. Ink color is bright but not overbearing, because I don't like a cherry red. I love a deeper, darker red. That worked so well. So I think this pairing rated, I actually think this pairing, let's go with a 9. Let's go with a 9. I'm gonna do 9. The reason I put a 9 is because I thoroughly enjoyed it. There were no drawbacks really. The ink, if I had to give numbers to, or ratings to the ink, the flow, and the pen ink, I'd give a whole thing a 9. The flow, sometimes it wanted to just come back, just not flow kind of nicely. For the majority of the time though, I loved absolutely everything about this pairing. So yeah, we get a 9. We get a 9. Now I'm going to put up right over there the pen that is missing from here. And that pen is my Radius Settimo Cielo Bleu. And it was inked with, and I don't have the pen to show you, NOODLER's Southwest Sunset. That's what it was. Not a bad ink. There was a couple of things up with this pairing regardless. Okay, first the ink. Although I like the color, it had no issues with the flow. I made the decision to no longer use this brand of ink. And as I said, I went into more detail in part 2 on the reasons why. I'm going to be taking I only have, I have 2 bottles of NOODLERs that it's just been sitting in the back of my drawer. And I have maybe 4 samples. I'm gonna take those to our pen meetup and give it to our no-kill shelf. One person takes in the inks that nobody won, and that means we're not throwing the ink away. Someone else can use it, but it's just not in my collection. So that's a decision I made for that one. I want to say something secondly about the pairing. And I'm sad I don't have this to show you, but I'm just not enamored with the pen anymore. There's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with the pen. It just doesn't thrill me. I know the last couple of times I picked it up, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah. And it has a beautiful fine flex nib. I loved it when I first got it, but this is one of the first times that I'm like, oh, do I want to have this in my collection? I didn't think when I started this pen hobby I would ever be able to be saying that reconsidering having a pen in my collection, because I'm so particular about which pens I bring into my store, my pen world. And so once I made that decision, it felt right. So I put it on my list. Someone is interested in it and they're looking at it, and we'll update on this adventure. So for this rating in particular, it's a combination of not necessarily the ink writing, but the ink brand and the pen not feeling so good. So this rating is 6. I know. Doesn't seem like I should be giving it a 6, but it is a 6. Yeah. I mean, look at it. It's a pretty color. It's really a gorgeous color. But anyway, there is that. Okay. The next one, which I told you about, this is my JINHAO X159, and I paired that with the Pilot Iroshizuku Chiki-rin. Oh my goodness, I need to say Chiku. I think it's Chiku. I thought it was Chiki-rin. Let's make sure. Chiku. It's cool. It's a ku, not a key. Anyway, these two. This was, I love writing with this pen. This pen and this ink. For the color, it doesn't lay down the color. See, it does lay down the color. Where is the thing? It does lay down the color. It just depends. Now I can't find it. I just had it here. Oh, there it is. It does lay down good color, but it depends upon the paper. Paper matters, y'all. Paper matters so much. Both the pen and the ink I actually removed from the lineup. So what will I rate this? I don't think, as you can see here, you can barely see that. That's just, to me, it's all about the writing because I do the journaling. I'm going to give this a 6 rating as well. It's just, it was just okay, but not a highly rate. And this is not one of the ink I will get in a bottle form at all, because you don't have to have all of them. You don't have to have all of them. Okay, next one up is my Narwhal Horizon Aurora. Isn't this a gorgeous pen? I mean, look at that gradation of color. What? I changed this nib. I bought this at the Pacific Pen Show in 2023, and I changed the nib to a medium because the original nib had baby's bottom. And ever since then, it's been such a beautiful writer. I thoroughly enjoy writing with this pen. I thoroughly enjoy writing with the pen, but I paired it with Iroshizuku, BPC, Root Cellar. And the only reason, there's nothing wrong with the ink, there's nothing wrong with the pen. You'll see why there's nothing wrong with the pen in a minute. There's nothing wrong with it. I just did not want a brown ink. And it kind of came, remember I wanted a... Okay, editing grace here. I'm not sure why I did not notice that in the recording, I'm holding up the dang wrong pips sheet. Wrong pen and ink pairing. I have no clue why I didn't notice it, and I thought I'd better come in here and just say something because I know you guys will catch it. I know you guys will catch it, and there's nothing more I can do. It's recorded. Okay, back to regular programming. Such a dark moment. Remember I wanted a golden yellow? That's not golden yellow. That isn't. It's a beautiful... I'm not mad with ink. That's the thing. It had a beautiful flow. As you can see here, it's just a gorgeous shading, tending to lean into almost golden sepia rather than golden yellow color. And I really wanted that golden yellow color. because, I mean, considering the thing is called Seasons of Change, this edition is called Seasons of Change, so I wanted something that looked yellow or golden, and this looked brown, so this came out of the lineup. What would I rate this pen and ink pairing? I'm gonna give it, it wasn't bad. The only reason the number is this is because it just didn't work. It just didn't work. There is that. I gave it an 8, and it's not that I wasn't happy, but I think that rating reflects my choice in color. I just didn't want the brown color. Alrighty, next ink and pen up is this one and this one. This is my Cellar Shikiori Sansui Kamoshika pen, and I inked it up with IWI Colors of Nature White Dew. Now, if you know anything about me, and this, I only have one Cellar pen, and this is it. It is a Cellar, a medium fine nib. Cellars are a bit scratchy for me. I want to like this pen. I wanted it to work better. It doesn't work with this ink. This ink is just too dry. Let's put that over here. And I want to share what I wrote for this one. I like the color, but not a fan of the nib. Too scratchy. To something I wrote there. If you can read that, let me know what I said. Pen does not do the ink good. It needs a broader nib, not the best pairing. I also think not only does the pen need a broader nib, but the ink, I think the ink would, I mean, the ink needs a broader nib, but I think the pen needs a wetter ink. I think if I have, you guys let me know about this. Cellar nibs are really scratchy. If I put a wetter ink in it, will it reduce the scratchiness? No clue. Absolutely no clue. And there is that. No clue. I'm not going to give up on the pen yet. But I've been thinking maybe I am a Pro Gear or a 1911 large person, and not a medium fine nib person either. Anyway, what I gave this pairing was a 7. It was good. It was okay. I wouldn't say it was good. It was okay. Yeah, let's just go with okay. Let's not lie to the people. The last pen pairing for the first part of October, currently inked, was something that was just, oh my word, can you say, wonderful, marvelous. This ink was made for me. Oh my god. But it's funny that this pen is a fine nib, but the writing looks like it's in a medium. It looks, and it could be the ink. The ink might be just brilliant at putting out color and doing the thing. Let's get this, that's this one. So if you know anything about me, I'm not a matchy person, but hey, I matched. I'm tripped up when I'm doing an ink report and I do this and I'm like, oh, they matched, because I don't notice it otherwise. I truly don't notice it otherwise. This was such a beautiful writer, great pairing, ink flowed wonderfully. What did I write? Gorgeous pairing, ink shined even with the fine nib. Shading is, look at that shading, y'all. Look at the freaking shading coming up. Ink is gorgeous and flows well. It's like a deep resonant color, and the nib shines. The nib helped this ink to shine. I loved picking up this pen. I love girthier pens, so this was like, my hand was like, ooh, give it to me. So, and this is the one with the, I don't know if you pick it up. That's the heartbeat nib. There we go. Anyway, and it's nothing here or there. I just love the fact that it says it's a heartbeat nib. That's all. This pen pairing, oh jeez, la flippin' wheeze. this pen pairing got a 10. This was, the ink was beautiful, the flow was beautiful. I love the nib, I love the nib, and it's a fine nib. What in the world is... Also, I think I need to get a bottle of this ink. I love this ROHRER Klingner Alt-Goldgrün. Love that ink. I love olive green inks, and this one. I mean, look how beautiful. Look at all of that in there. Just gorgeousness. Absolute gorgeous. All right, for part 2 of the pairings, I only changed 4. I only added 4 more. One of the first ones, let's put this one back. One of the first ones is, and these are out of order, but that's okay. Ta-da! Whoa, whoa. This little beauty. This is the HONGDIAN M2, and I filled it. It's still filled with the unboxing ink. Pilot Iroshizuku Yu-yake. Look at that. Look at that beautifulness. Oh my word. Oh my word. Let's give you center stage. What did I write? I write, oh my God, can this be a permanent pip pairing? Flow, writing, ink color, nib, all excellent. It was wet and delish. Fantastic pairing. You think I like this pairing? Yeah, you might be getting to the fact that I might actually like this pairing. This was such a good coupling. Beautiful. What can I say? What can I say? I love this pairing. So what do they get? What do they get? They get, you know what's coming. They get a 10. A 10. I really think this might be, and here I go again. I just realized. How is it that I only realized? It's an orange ink in an orange pen. I did it again. I don't make these decisions to put colors the same. I'm not a matchy pink pen and ink, but I did it again. And I'm thinking I might have to have this as a temporary permanent. I always say temporary permanent because I could change my mind at any moment. This might have to be a temporary permanent pairing. Just saying, if you don't have the HONGDIAN M2 pen, go get you one. And I'm eyeing up 2 more because I love the colors. Anyway, they got a 10. Next one up, last 3, and this is what it is. Yes, I inked up the Narwhal Horizon Aurora. I inked this pen up because this was more of a brownish. I really wanted a golden yellow. Now, if you look at that video, you will see that I didn't actually choose I chose the golden yellow, but when I was inking it up, I picked the other one. And then the next one, I'm going to put them in order that I'm using them. So it got inked up with Robert Oster Aussie Liquid Gold. The other one that I had, I think, was Golden Barrel. I love how it looks, but I really wanted a golden yellow. And I think Golden Barrel is better suited to that aesthetic of golden yellow. So this one, I like it. I actually like it. I chose not to change out of, let me see if I can find it. I don't think I have it here. Anyway, I chose not to change the ink and just go with the flow, actually. And it ended up not being too bad. It still is... The issue all the time with yellow is legibility. Can it be read? I love writing with the yellow. I love seeing yellow. Can it be read? And sometimes it's a struggle to read. That's why I wanted a golden yellow. It actually worked in the pen. What did I write? See, now I'm like trying to figure out what I wrote. Except for the fact that I can't read the writing. Not a bad pairing. Shimmer, Shimmer is lovely. Flow is consistent. So the two of these together, this one, the Narwhal and the Aussie Liquid Gold, they worked well together. I need to be using this in artwork rather than, or artwork or headings. Because if I have it in a broader nib, like a stub nib, I think that'll work better because obviously it's a little bit more ink being pulled up in there. I just think I have this aversion to yellow inks, and I just, yeah. Oh, this can go away. What I gave this actually an 8. Because it wasn't a bad pairing. I actually did the mess up and chose the wrong ink. I mean, look at that. That's pretty. That's really a pretty beautiful color. But it's just not what I wanted for this. Remember, let me see if I can get, remember this one? I wanted a goldenish yellow somewhere in here. Anyway, we don't need to go over that again. Alrighty, last one. Oh, I did want to show you something. What did I say? Oh, that's what I wrote. I have my notes in front of me. Oh, when I rated the pen for this one, I rated the pen an 8. But I noticed in my notes when I rated the pen an 8.5. Same pen, different inks, different ratings for the pen. Isn't that interesting? To me, that's fascinating. Alrighty, the next one up is, the last one up, no, Cellar. Oh, I did change the ink in this one. Oh, I forgot I did that. I changed the ink. This is the Cellar because the ink here wasn't working for me here. This is the IWI Colors of Nature White Dew. So I changed it to Aurora Sepia, and that's when I found out it's not the ink, it's the pen. It's the pen. So I actually changed the pen about 3 days after I did all that ink up. I changed the pen and I put the ink in this one. I put the ink in this is the HONGDIAN N23, and it has Aurora Sepia in it. And this pen has a long knife nib in it. And that's because I still wanted brown, but it wasn't showing up here. And it still wasn't showing up here because this was written with the Kamoshika, with the Cellar pen. I'm gonna do this because I actually wrote my pip notes with this pen. Look at that. This, I'm gonna show you this. This, oh, I'm not gonna get this right on it. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll do this way, just like all over the place. This and this are the same ink. Same ink, different pen. It matters the pairings. This is why I do this, because it matters the pairings. This ink, this poor ink, it wasn't about the ink, it was the pen. And I recognized that and I changed it, and I love this pen. This is my HONGDIAN N23. Oh, juicy, love. It's such a good writer, and the long nib is it's a beautiful write, as you can see. This pairing was okay, no issues with flow. I did not enjoy the ink as much, and the reason I remember this, the reason I did not enjoy the ink as much is because it wrote fairly flat with this nib. And I don't know if it's this nib or, I don't know. I mean, all of these things are just data for future. That's all it is. I think it's a pretty brown ink. I'm not a fan of writing with brown inks all the time. So when I write with the brown ink, I really need to take myself and my feelings out of the picture and just do the pairing. So it was okay. It just wrote flat. Kind of really just flat. Very, very flat. Even if you compared this to this, it's not flat here. It's a beautiful, deep, rich brown, but it didn't come across here. I don't know why. That pairing the pairing that I am rating for is this HONGDIAN N23 pairing with Aurora Sepia. I'm going to give that an 8.5 because it did much better than the Cellar Kamoshika pen. Okay, one more pen for this currently inked and part 2. I used my LAMY Safari Pink Cliff, and DIAMINE Bar Humbug. Look at Bar Humbug is just so dang awesome. Bar Humbug was actually one of my top inks for Inkvent Calendar 2023. One of the top inks. Love this color. I love how deep and rich it is. So this pairing was already in high regard. The pen is good with shimmer. Beautiful with shimmer. Let's see what I have written. What a joy this pen pairing was to write with. The ink in this pen shines, doesn't always come through, but nib was excellent. Loved writing with these two. You can see that shimmer show up there. It's gorgeous. I love Bar Humbug. Love Bar Humbug. These two were, dang, such a good pairing. I love writing now with LAMY. I am in love with LAMY pens again. So I think this was a match made in heaven, maybe. Such a good pairing. Beautiful, beautiful pairing. The ink was an enjoyable color. The flow was beautiful. No clogging or anything. This baby takes a shimmer ink very, very nicely. If you don't have experience with LAMY and shimmers, this was a medium nib. I'm pretty sure this is a medium nib. You need to try a LAMY and shimmers because dang, it was really very good. I'm going to give this one a rating of 9.5 because it was good. It was good. Okay, so we have 1 6, 1 7, lots of 8. Oh no, we have 2 6s. Lots of 8s, 2 10s, couple of 9s. That is actually very good. That really shows me that I'm looking and paying attention to the pairings and what they do according to how I like things. So there were some hits, some misses. Overall, though, I enjoyed these pairings, even though I changed 4 of them midway through. Like the HONGDIAN, this M2, it is the only pairing that is still inked up, and it might be a temporary permanent pip. It might be, and I just, because I don't want to commit to saying this will only be in this ink, there's only one pen that I have that I do that with, and that's my Pilot E95S, and that's always ink with Waterman Serenity Blue because that's my everyday writer. This isn't my everyday writer, but as long as I'm just going to write it till it dries out. I'm not even going to, and I actually fill this up all the way, so I know there's lots of ink left to go. So this is, okay. Let me go to my top pairings for currently inked for October, and this is probably not a surprise. The first half, it definitely goes to the JINHAO 9019 and Klingner Alt-Goldgrün. This is such a beautiful, absolutely beautiful pairing. Gorgeous. For the second half of the month, I'm just gonna have to go with this one. Oh my gosh. Isn't that fascinating? The 2 pens that have the colors with the inks that match the pen, those are my tops. Those are my tops. Look at that. Anyway, couple of things I want to drop in there. Have you seen the new 2024 Pilot Iroshizuku inks? I have a fave of the bunch. It's the burgundy brownish with undertones of pink. The what is called Shungyo. that is the one that I think I might need a bottle of. But I only want the mini bottle. I don't want the large bottle. When they put out the mini bottle, I'll go get it because that thing is gorgeous. But I'm not either. I'm not mad at the Toro ink. Because I know. It's a yellow orange. What? Here we go with yellow again, but it's more orange than yellow, which is good because that's much better than golden yellow, because I'm really having struggles. Anyway, they've been released in Japan. They will be available November 24th everywhere else. As I said, I'm not going to get the gigantic bottles of them. I will wait for the release or see where I can get the mini bottles. I love Pilot's mini bottles. Here's one of Pilot's mini bottles. Just love. That's enough ink for me. That is enough ink. I know that I can get through those ink. So, back to the pairings. These were not bad at all. I kind of enjoyed, I really thoroughly enjoyed, compared to May, because May was like, what you doing? That's not, no, I don't like any of these. October was just, but this page is gorgeous though. This is a gorgeous page. If you missed it, November has 30 days, and you know what's happening with 30 days? I am doing 30 inks, but I'm doing 30 inks, 30 days shorts. So I created a playlist. I'll put that in the description so you can binge watch. Go ahead and binge watch them all because they're only short. They're not going to take up a lot of your time. No, not at all. Alrighty, thoroughly enjoyed. Absolutely thoroughly enjoyed.